Imagine working for months, sweating day and night, finally earning a commission check big enough to change your life. Now imagine holding that check in your hands, and suddenly the boss's own son shoves a gun in your face and rips it away. That's exactly what happened to me. And trust me, what followed left everyone in shock, including him. This story isn't just about betrayal. It's about power, fear, revenge, and the truth that even the untouchable can fall. So sit tight, because I'm about to tell you how a stolen check at gunpoint became the turning point of my life. Let me start with the basics. I worked in sales. Long hours, endless calls, knocking on doors, closing deals. It wasn't glamorous, but I was good at it. And when you're in sales, commission is everything. That's your blood, your sweat, your reward. This one deal I landed was massive. The kind that sets your year right. I earned a fat commission check. I was proud. Finally, I thought my hard work had paid off. I walked out of that office the day with my head high. But what I didn't know, someone was watching me, and he had no respect for hard work, the boss's son. Spoiled, arrogant, always showing off. Everyone in the company knew him as trouble. He never worked a day in his life, but he strutted around like he owned the world. And in some ways he did, because of his father. No rules applied to him. He lived reckless. Cars, parties, gambling. And when the money ran dry, he looked for easy prey. That day, I became his target. As I left the building with my check in hand, he followed. I didn't notice. My mind was on my plans, bills to pay, savings to build, maybe a small gift for my family. But his mind was only on greed. Did it happen so fast? I stepped into the parking lot, heading for my car. Suddenly, I felt a shove, then cold steel pressed against my ribs. "Hand it over," he hissed. My heart dropped. I turned and saw his face. My boss's son. My hands shook, but I froze. He waved the gun like a toy, smirking. "Don't make me do something you'll regret." I begged him. "Please, this is my commission. I worked for this." He didn't care. He snatched the envelope from my hand, tapped the gun against my chest, and whispered, "Remember, you saw nothing." Then he walked away like it was nothing. That I stood there, stunned. Fear and anger mixed in my chest. I could have called the police right there. But he was the boss's son. Who would believe me? Worse, what if I lost my job? My family needed that money. My dignity was crushed, my trust shattered. I sat in my car, shaking, thinking, should I stay silent or fight back? That's when something inside me snapped. Enough was enough. I wasn't just going to take it. I was going to get my money back, and I was going to make sure he couldn't do this to anyone else again. And my first step was patience. Revenge isn't about rushing, it's about planning. I didn't storm into my boss's office. I didn't scream in anger. Instead, I documented everything. I wrote down the time, the place, the words he said. I took note of people nearby who might have seen him follow me out. I even checked the parking lot cameras. And there it was, grainy, but clear enough. Him trailing behind me. That was proof. Next, I needed leverage. I started talking to other employees. Quietly, carefully. Turns out, I wasn't the first victim. He had stolen before. He had threatened before. Suddenly, my story wasn't just mine. It was bigger. Now I had a choice. Confront him or go higher. I knew confronting him alone was dangerous. This was a man with a gun, no conscience, and the confidence that his father would protect him. So I went higher. I gathered my proof. I spoke to HR. At first, they brushed me off, nervous. "That's the boss's son. Are you sure you want to pursue this?" But then I showed them the video. I shared the stories of others. And slowly, the fear shifted. They realized this wasn't gossip. It was real. It was a threat to everyone. Word spread fast. The walls of silence started cracking. Employees whispered in hallways. Some came forward with their own stories. The boss, for the first time, couldn't ignore it. And when the truth reached him, his face turned pale. His own son, a criminal under his roof. At first, he tried to cover it up. He called me into his office, tried to negotiate. He said, "Let's keep this quiet. I'll replace your check with bonus." But by then, it wasn't about money. It was about justice. I refused. I told him, "This isn't just my fight anymore. It's everyone's safety." The pressure mounted. Lawyers got involved. The police were informed. And when the footage and testimonies piled up, even his father couldn't protect him. The boss's son was arrested, charged with armed robbery. The company was forced to admit the truth. And suddenly, I wasn't just an employee. I became the voice that others had lacked. My stolen commission check turned into a chain reaction that exposed years of abuse. It shocked everyone, not just that he did it, but that he finally faced consequences. For once, power didn't protect the guilty. Truth did. Looking back, I realized something important. Life will put you in situations where silence feels safer, where the odds are against you, where the people who hurt you seem untouchable. But silence feeds corruption. Silence makes bullies stronger. What I learned is this: courage backed by truth can topple even the powerful. My revenge wasn't pulling a trigger or starting a fight. My revenge was exposing the lie and reclaiming my dignity. If you ever face someone who abuses power, remember my story. Patience, proof, persistence. That's how you win. And when you do, the shock won't just be theirs. It will be everyone's who doubted you.